Moving on the functional division of cerebellum. It is the second part. Another part of the cerebellum we have discussed in the anatomy portion. Now we are moving to the physiology portion. So it is divided into three parts. One is vestibulocerebellum. Then another is spinocerebellum. Then the another one is cerebrospinal or cerebrocerebellum. So moving in the structure, this is the midbrain, pons, medulla, spinal cord, and when we draw cerebellum, so this is a structure of cerebellum. The posterior, when we cut the transverse section, this is the cerebro. This is the spinocerebellum. Spinocerebellum. This in this there is a connection between the spine and cerebellum, and impulse come from the spine to the cerebellum. So this is cerebellum. This hemisphere, and there is some primitive. There are vestibulocerebellum. Moving on, the vestibulocerebellum, that is consist of ocular lobe. So moving on, we are discussing this. This is the vestibulocerebellum. It consists of nodular lobes. So that provides the neural circuit for the most of the body to be maintaining the equilibrium. So it provides neural circuit to the most body to maintain equilibrium movement. Body's equilibrium movements. And when you draw, this is the follicular nodular lobe. When you draw the cerebellum, this is the cerebellum. In the medial, there is the barmes. In the medial, there is constructed by the barmes. So this is the barmes. After barmes, there is the intermediate zone of the hemisphere. This is the intermediate zone of the zone of hemisphere. Then there is a lateral zone of hemisphere. These are the lateral zone of hemisphere. Lateral zone of hemisphere. So this is the hemispheres from here. Hemisphere. and this is the posterior lobe. Like when we look, this is the posterior lobe, and when we look at the above, this is the anterior lobe. Anterior lobe from till to the this Barbies line. Anterior lobe. This is posterior lobe. From here, posterior lobe. In the cerebro, when we discuss regarding the vestibulocerebellum, it consists of the oculonodular lobe only. So moving on, spinocerebellum. So in the spinocerebellum consists of Burmese, this Burmese region. So I am drawing this Burmese region. Then it also consists intermediate zone of the hemisphere. This intermediate zone also both is contained. Then when we discuss regarding the Burmese, so Burmese, regarding the Burmese concerned with the control of the it's concerned with the movement of our trunk, movement of trunk, neck, shoulder and hip. There is also, it consists of intermediate zone coordinated with the mainly movement of the distal portion of the limb, distal portion of limbs, especially hand and fingers movements. We can draw. In this there is a hand and fingers. So you can draw fingers movement in both intermediate zone, hand and fingers. This is a like fist. Also in this Burmese there is a trunk, so you can draw like in this person. Now moving on, Burmese and intermediate lobe. So I am highlighting this intermediate hemisphere. Now there is the cerebrocerebellum. So for the cerebrocerebellum, this is the cerebrocerebellum. So it's consists of the mainly the lateral zone of the hemisphere. So it receives input from the cerebral motor cortex, and in the region of premotor and somatosensory cortices. So it's done like plan. It's after the plan sequential voluntary body and limb movement. So this is regarding 3 part of functional division, and we have already discussed regarding the some apparent different pathways. So I am not going to discuss regarding these things again. And we also know the internal circuit of the cerebellum, like we also discussed this circuit, so I am not going to discuss regarding that. So it is the physiological aspect of